All right, so boom, I'm off the internet for 4 days. I return only to find out they throwing dildos on the court in the WNBA.
What?
Yeah, and no one's picked the object up yet. You guys, oh my gosh, okay. Spencer Caldwell, and that's her job. That normally inappropriate.
Who is responsible for catapulting, launching this neon green silicone meat stick onto the hardwood floor? And to make matters worse, it happened again.
Got a whistle away from the basketball.
First and foremost, this is something that was clearly premeditated because there's no scenario in an arena, in a WNBA game or any sporting event where you come in close contact or acquire a dildo, let alone an exotic color like a neon green. Then you have to take into account anybody who's ever attended a sporting event in the country, let alone any event in an arena. You have to go through scanning, you go through security, and they may not be as thorough as the TSA where they have somebody looking through a screen, but they have a guard who looks at least through your bag, if you have one, a little bit, just to make sure you don't have anything that you can leverage and utilize with malicious intent. How is it that you got a dildo in? Were you wearing it on your body? In your body?
What the hell is going on here?
You had this inanimate sexual object lodged or inserted on or in your person, well lubricated, and decided to launch it onto the court.
Go get him, Bruce! Bruce!
Now, granted, this ain't even the first time this ever happened in sports. Y'all remember the Patriots versus the Bills? Not only in the playoffs, but in a regular season game, maybe 8 some years ago. For whatever reason, Bills fans carrying dildos to the game.
You filthy motherfucker!
I just have a question. For the sports fan that essentially thinks it'd be hilarious to throw a dildo onto the field, what is the mental process in acquiring the dildo, then packaging the dildo or transporting it from your home, your domicile, to bring it to the arena, then picking the right time to launch it onto the playing field? I need to know the thought process in every single step by step.
Use your common sense.
This is a tweet I never thought I would read in my lifetime. We're the first in any generation to experience something like this. Could you imagine if somebody just so happened to had slipped on the dildo? You out for the season, not by way of torn ACL, not a torn Achilles, no sort of injury to the groin, not even pregnancy for the WNBA player. You out because you slipped on a dildo. What do you even write on the depth chart next to the name? You just put the O with no explanation as to what transpired? This gotta be incredibly embarrassing. If somebody messed around and got hurt, think about the person who threw it, because you know they're gonna be able to find you. It's not as if it's a 1970s, 80s, 90s where it's very difficult to identify if somebody threw something onto the court, unless of course they happen to have somebody who's an eyeball witness and snitches and says, hey, that's the individual over there. But they're gonna be able to search and cross-reference in order to be able to identify who it is. But you about to get banned from the arena. Not just, oh, can't go to WNBA game. You want to be banned from the arena because you decided to go and throw a dildo onto the court. What's wrong with you? Why? Streets is saying WNBA is going to have to administer self-defense classes just to endure a possible strike of a dildo. Furthermore, you got all kinds of edits. They got the logo with a dildo in their hand.
He can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
You really got to think about the repercussions of these actions of having these neon green dildos or any tone thrown onto the court. It's landing baseline. It's landing sideline. Somebody sitting front row might get hit by a dildo or it'll be within their vicinity. If Christian Wilkins is sitting front row, he might do a split on it. What they gonna do next? Throw a double-sided dildo on the court? You might not get it back. One of the players might slip it underneath the seat and utilize it for later. That's not what we're here to talk about.
Nasty bitch.
Stop laughing. This is a serious matter, okay? The WNBA already has enough problems, like players having their wigs snatched in the middle of the game. Timeout, ref. Timeout. Number 2 got to go to the locker room, and she's questionable for a return because she didn't want the world to know that
She's bald. She's bald, Jared.
Would you believe they actually had a fan ejected for laughing in this moment? The WNBA is wilding, albeit probably something else was said to where the players took offense to it, ultimately prompting them to go and point homie out to get them ejected. But one way or another, this is just as bad as when Tim Duncan got ejected in 2007 for laughing on the bench, got 2 techs and then kicked the fuck up out the game. Shit crazy, bro.
Which fan it is, so that security here at Care First Arena can have that dealt with.
But back to the dildo. First of all, I never thought I would formulate words like that in my life, bro. In a sentence, that's insane. Pause. But one way or another, I'm very curious what's going to happen moving forward for security at these arenas, primarily at WNBA games, because you would assume you have to increase the search now. Because if you take a look to try to do a thorough look through somebody's bag, if it's not there, you still have a high possibility it can be on a person or possibly in a person. So what happens now? Because you know, with the climate that we're in right now, every single time something happens in the WNBA, they end up amplifying things to try to double down to make sure it don't happen. So are you going to start searching people's bodies for a possibility of carrying a dildo? Are we going to end up having thorough TSA level like searches to prevent individuals from carrying in dildos into these arenas? I'm going to SummerSlam today. Matter of fact, when this video premiering, SummerSlam probably just started right now. I'm telling you, if an official security person were to touch me and question me, interrogate me of if I'm carrying a dildo alongside my person, I'm telling you right now, I'm going on the news. There ain't no way.
Get your hand off my penis!
You know how crazy the story would have been if this took place prior to the days of social media? Let's even go further back. Before these games were broadcasted nationally on television, if these were airing on tape delay, you probably end up having this get edited out. And if you happen to be somebody who's sitting there front row, second row, third row, you there in person, nobody would believe something like this happened. Yo, I was at the WNBA game. I was sitting 4th row. Somebody threw a dick onto the court. What? They threw a dick onto the court. Was Lorena Bobbitt in attendance? What do you mean? Yeah, they threw a dildo, a neon green one. You were close enough to see the color? What are you talking about? Yeah, man, somebody threw it on the court. They stopped the game. Then they had to go and bring the security, go and take it out. Was there veins in it? Why are you asking for detail? Whatever the case just so happened to be, fam, this is ridiculous. Never in my life did I think, after the Bills and Patriots fiasco, if you will, in that super blowout in the wild card 3-4 some years ago during the pandemic, where we have a situation where we got dildos on the court again. And I promise you, because people are starting to get more and more and more unhinged, there will be more green dildos that will be thrown onto the court of WNBA games. I'm just curious how much. So I'm going to issue a challenge to the viewers in the comment section. How many more green dildos will we see for the remainder of this NBA or WNBA season? All through the playoffs as well. My count, 4. I think there's gonna be 4, and then at that point, now they really gonna start to crack down. I'm betting on 4. What are y'all betting on? Green dildos, WNBA, what's the count gonna be? It's ridiculous, bro. Get these dildos off the court, but make sure it get to 4 before then. The WNBA, where amazing happens. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.